Shalom. It's an update on the HalleluYah Scriptures. They are coming out with a new version in about 3 months, where they've made a lot of they've made a few corrections. There were only a few that needed to be made, and they're being very diligent about that. These people are wonderful. But also they're going to be removing some more English words that have pagan origins, various kinds. You can look at all that when the new version comes out. But mainly I wanted to talk to you. You know, I've had a number of people saying, geez, I haven't got my copy yet. What's going on? And there are some things that need to be called attention to concerning this. First of all, there's a small number of people who really don't understand the project of the HalleluYah Scriptures. And that's because they haven't taken the time to watch the videos and to read the content at HalleluYahScriptures.com. There's a link in the More Info section where you can go visit their site. Please do that. You know, it's just that some people, and this, you know, is pretty common, I think, in the Western world. Oh, I can get something for free? I, me, mine. You know, it's the way it is in the West. You know, we're very material-minded people, and that goes on. So people are going over there, and they're just, you know, they're not looking at the videos. They're not really considering the information on the website, and therefore they're not really understanding what this project, the HalleluYah Scriptures, is all about. I mean, aside from the anointed purpose of hallowing the Father's name, putting His name back in His book for the first time in the history of English Bibles, and even all the other Bibles. I mean, His name was removed back around 300 BC. It's more than 2,000 years ago. And so, I mean, that is something really, something very, what's the word? I mean, this is something to rejoice over. But also, you know, this is not just about getting, or in some cases, demanding your own copy. It's about helping others that have never seen a copy of the Bible, have never owned a copy, who've never had the money to buy their own. And it's also about new believers who come along and need His Word. So naturally, you know, they're looking for donations. They have many, many more requests for free copies than they have copies right now. And it's not only about donations. You know, it can be other things. Prayer, fasting once a month, helping with the HalleluYah Scriptures daily prayer team, giving a few minutes of your time every day, or by helping the missions team with phone calls or letters that need to be sent out, or research that needs to be conducted. You know, none of the team members at HalleluYah Scriptures gets paid. And they're putting in 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, with no pay. And, you know, a lot of them, they don't have any funds. They live very simple and basic lives. And some of them won't even take a copy of the book for themselves because they know how great the needs are that aren't being met. I mean, I've been in contact with the people at HalleluYah Scriptures, and They weep every day over some of these heartbreaking emails that they receive from people who have no home, no car, no internet. Often people who never have 3 meals a day, and all they want is His Word, a copy of His Word. And they're working very hard with many third world countries trying to get Yahweh's Word to His forgotten people there. They work with many prison ministries, and they could use your help. If you can get copies of the HalleluYah Scriptures into any prisons in your area, let them know. Here's a powerful note. The HalleluYah Scriptures project, they have 5,000 brothers and sisters in the refugees camps in Israel who have never seen a copy of Yahweh's Word. They've never owned a copy. They've been praying since 1984 when they were rescued out of the Sudan under Operation Moses. You can get information on this on their thank you video at HalleluYahScriptures.com. They gave these 5,000 people 3 boxes of the HalleluYah Scriptures, which is not much, but to them it was huge. When they were handed them, they put the HalleluYah Scriptures to their heart, and they wailed. They use these on their services, and there's so many that need a copy. But there aren't enough for them, so they keep them in the hall so that everybody can use them. Let's try and think a little bit more about that. I know many of us, many of my viewers are living in extreme luxury compared to what I've been talking about. So, please, if you haven't gotten your copy, don't be emailing them with like a complaining heart. Yahweh hates a complainer. The Jews, in the desert for 40 years, they were complaining. He was killing tens of thousands of them a day with snakes because they were complaining. A stiff-necked people, he called them. So, if you're concerned about your copy not arriving, it's been a while. Number one, they're short on copies. Probably, because they're at the end of the previous run and they're going to be coming out with this new version in 3 months, number one. Number two, they're trying to get them to people who really are in need. I mean, people who have never had a Bible of any kind. People who've never been able to buy a Bible of any kind because they're in such poverty. And the team at HalleluYah Scriptures, they pray over every request seeking Abba Father's guidance. So, when you go there to their website and you fill out the form, there's a box there that asks you to tell them something about yourself. Did you leave that box blank? Because if you did, that kind of portrays someone who's really just looking for a free copy, and someone who hasn't really looked at the videos and hasn't considered the website and hasn't considered the mission that here is more so about helping those who are in such dire straits they've never been able to buy a Bible of any kind, or like these 5,000 refugees. They wailed when they got their copy. So when you go there and you fill out that form, don't fill it out until you've looked at all the videos. Look at all the information on the website and consider the ways that you might be able to help. Can you get some Bibles into prisons or other such places? Can you help them make phone calls or write letters or do research? And some of those other things I mentioned. 99% of those that say they haven't received their copy, they aren't even in their system. So it's very important you visit their site, watch the videos, read the material, answer all the parts of the request form, and especially that box that says, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself, why you want a copy, and how you might be able to help others who are very needy. Please don't think this is your typical warehouse full of millions of copies and all you need to do is ask for one as if it's owed to you. These people are working long and hard hours, not only filling orders, but dealing with the translation team. They're working, especially with this new copy. They want to get the final thing to the printer here, but they've been working real hard on the original Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic and getting the translations as much more improved as they possibly can. Working with the missions team, tracking down prisons, tracking down the homeless and those in third world countries, and also searching for ways to ship books inexpensively to various countries. It costs like $200 a box to ship by post, which is the least expensive way. And they spend a lot of time looking for people who might be traveling to those places so that they can take stock and maybe they can save some money that way. So I'm sorry to report that there are far too many prosperous people who are being a bit rude and selfish about getting their own free copy and not thinking of the help they might provide through a serious donation or contributing in the other ways I mentioned. People who've grown so accustomed to the comforts of living in the Western world. Think about that, I know, I'm sure I take it for granted. I live here in central New Jersey. I have a lot of luxuries I've always had my whole life, and I probably take a lot of things for granted. So, anyway, how many times has Yahweh commanded us to help those who are in need, to feed the hungry? Especially with His Word, that's the eternal food of life, or to clothe the naked, especially with His Word. So, those of you who are waiting for a copy, if you're being impatient, consider the things I've said. Go back to their website, dig in, take a closer look at what they're trying to do, and see if you can't join hands in getting the Word of Yahweh to people who've been weeping to know it. Man. Shalom.